it's JJ and I welcome you to this video. Today, we're going to talk about 360 cameras, but especially about the brand Akaso. Akaso, which is known for its sports cameras, let's say, I won't say entry level, but with prices that are rather aggressive. So when they offer us this new Akaso 360, a 360 camera that we'll see has everything like a big one at an amazing price, we think that yes, it can make sense in a setup where you might have a camera, a drone, a 360 camera, and especially we will look at everything it can do and we will see that for the price, it is certainly the best Insta360 camera you will need. Yes, because seeing products in photos is good, but seeing them in video is better. So unleash yourself and discover all Note high tech on your smartphone. So you might say, yes, a 360 camera, oh, why not? But it would need to be at least as good as the others. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Let's take a look at what's inside the box. In the box, we really have our camera. We will have 2 batteries, and that's nice.
2 batteries of 1,350 milliampere hours. It's the little gift that makes you happy. Always need a second battery.
We'll have a USB Type-C cable, USB Type-C, and a small pouch to carry it. Now, it feels like we can put it upside down, but no, it's to be able to attach the stick, especially to charge it at the same time. Well, we got the creator pack that you can certainly take as an option later with the Accaso micro SD card, a somewhat rock and roll card because it's still 5.7K, and we also got the pack with the tripod. Plus the pole. In fact, it's an invisible pole. We'll see that in a moment. And especially we have the tripod to be able to place it almost anywhere and have a slightly longer pole, which is a bit everyone's dream. Well, you'll see that later. And let's discover our camera a little. In terms of size, it's a compact and classic 360, 109.8 by 46.9 by 30 millimeters. It's a 360 camera. The weight, 180 grams, is great.
Oh, I know. Right away you're going to say, yeah, it looks like an Insta360 camera. So I decided to compare them since I have the 1, the 2, and the 3.
So when we compare our cameras a bit, we realize we're exactly on the same format as these cameras, but at the same time, it's the best format for the 360 camera. When we look at the lenses, we're pretty much on the same generation as the X2 in terms of lenses, but since they are a bit more recent, you'll notice they are much thinner than the X2. And yes, certainly, and a bit like the X3, but the X3 has a slightly larger sensor. Okay. On the other hand, our camera, like the X2, which has a small, somewhat round screen, makes us think it's not great. It would be better with a large screen, adopts a rather large touchscreen like on the X3. So we're really between the X2 and the X3. That is to say, we take the X2 as the entry level, we agree, but we bring the improvements, a thinner lens and a screen from the X3. So we could say it's almost an X2.5, but it's especially cheaper. Well, first note, with zinc clearly is not waterproof, it's not made for underwater use. At the same time, what idea is it to go underwater with a 360 camera?
So what they are saying is that it's waterproof. It's kind of like splash proof, meaning it's resistant again to sand and snow. It's not made for going underwater for immersion, but if it rains, there's snow, sand. It's a bit like a phone, you see. So it's really splash proof and resistant to everyday use and all, but it's not made for filming dolphins. At the same time, it's not intended.
Let's discover our camera a little. To the left of our camera, there is a microphone. That's actually quite nice, especially since we'll see that there's another one on the other side, stereo, all that. A hatch where we'll find the USB Type-C port, not bad. Then another hatch that gives access to the battery and especially to the micro SD. So when we look at our batteries, it's 1,350 milliampere hours. Okay. The micro SD, you must make sure to use an XC micro SD since we're recording in 5.7K and all. You need a quality memory card. It's easy to find, but it's worth mentioning. Well, at the top of our camera, not much. At the bottom, a screw thread. Threaded hole is not that there isn't a screw, it's that there is a threading. There you go. Well, you got it, but it allows for the pole to be attached. Yes, but it is not adjustable. But no, you don't need to. It's a 360 camera. We'll see that later. Okay, on the right of our camera, a second microphone. Yes, stereo, all that. It's so cool. We will also have a windshield design once again. So it's true that there is a little grid which helps to slightly reduce wind levels and all. That's pretty good. We talked about the stereo. A power on-off button that will turn the camera on or off, or a short press that turns the camera on, a long press that turns it off. Also pressing this button when the camera is on will switch from photo mode to video mode, not bad. And below, a small speaker. That way, when you do text, you want to see if you have a good sound recording, and there you go, you will have a little speaker that will allow you to have a bit of playback. Once you realize that the sound is still quite good. Well, obviously, since it's a 360 camera, you will have 2 lenses, so with ultra-wide angles. So it is due to the order they back, it is 1/2 inches. That's a classic lens, so not necessarily 360. Well, it's 48 MP CMOS f2.25 for those more specialized among you. The most important thing for you is that you can make videos up to 5.7K, maybe 40x360. After that, all this will need to be edited. We'll see that later in the videos and photos, up to 72 million pixels. Wow. Beneath all that, there will be a 2.29-inch touchscreen. Well, it's not the most responsive in the universe, but once again, it's enough for everyday use. It's 480 by 800. It's not made for watching Netflix. It's meant for recording videos and viewing them in real time. And indeed, it truly delivers undeniable comfort. Below all of that, you'll notice there's a small LED that shows the recording status. It's either green, blue, or red, and so on. It's quite practical once again. And below, what I hadn't seen at first, I thought, where's the record button? Actually, it's at the bottom. It would have been nice. So maybe I have a pre-version, and then on this little button at the bottom, they might put a little logo, either printed or something, to show that's where you record. Because there isn't a little logo like that. But once you know, you think it's so great. Then when you don't know, you say, where is it? Well, it's at the bottom, and let's talk a little about our screen. On our screen at the top, well, we'll obviously have the memory card level to know where you are a bit with your recording, the battery level, okay? The lens, well, it was in 360 mode to know if you were in 360 mode or if you are only in front lens mode or only in rear lens mode. We'll see that later. The QTS mode, whether you're in video or photo mode, the recording resolution when you're in video, well then you'll set the video resolution mode. When you're in photo, you can choose the resolution a bit. Even if there are two, we'll always take the largest one. And a mode to change the lens, either again to put yourself in front, rear lens, all that which is you. It's my favorite mode. Okay, in terms of the menus, it's actually quite easy. When we slide down, we'll have a quick menu that will allow us to adjust the camera speaker volume. Pretty good. The orientation if you want to lock it, and all that for making your original little videos like that. A screen lock to prevent you from accidentally pressing. It can happen. The brightness a little of your screen, the notification LED if you want to turn it on or not. And finally, the settings. In the settings, there are plenty of things, including the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi to connect it with your phone for editing. Once again, if you have put the lens protector, then there will be stickers on it to decide whether to use the lens protector or not. Well, then there are a lot of features like the auto stop function, the microphone gain, which is also nice if you want to increase the sound level a bit when it's weak, okay? The language. So when we installed it, there was only English, and when we put it on our phone and did the update, we got French, which is quite good news. And finally, the memory is formatted and all that to have a bit of the status. When we slide up, we will have the modes. So 360, right? For us, when we are in video mode, well, it starts right away in video mode. When we are in photo, it will switch to photo mode. So when you set the 360 mode, you can adjust the resolution. Just to clarify, my resolution is 360. Then we will cut the video in 4K. We will see 5.7K. You can set 30, 25, or 24 FPS. Or if you're ready to cut back a bit on the resolution, again, it's 360, and go down to 4K, then you can go up to 60 FPS, 50, 30, 25, or 24. All right, when you slide to the left, you'll have access to a lot of stuff which I advise you not to touch. If, like me, you don't know much about it. We have the image settings, you know? By the way, I'm going to put everything on automatic. Oh, you want to adjust the ISO or something? No, I don't. That I can't do. I set everything to automatic, not bad. The only thing I would have liked is being able to set the image to either vivid or classic. I didn't try both tests and everything because on the screen you couldn't really see a difference. Will we see it later? Just know you can tweak things nicely over there. And finally, when we slide to the right, we'll access all the videos or photos you have saved. You need to slide to the right to set that, and then it's from top to bottom to scroll. I didn't understand it first. It went back to the north menu. Then you slide from top to bottom, and there you can move up or down your videos and see a little bit of what you recorded, if it's clean or not. And in 360 mode, you can directly view and navigate on the screen and all. It's really great. Then when we go into the camera, we will have several modes. So either you set it to 360 mode, your favorite mode, or lens one. So the first one in front or the second one or at the back. Really great. You can also do time lapses, not bad, loop recordings. For example, if you want to use it as a dashcam, which would make a lot of sense, connect it to the cigarette lighter. There, the photo mode, well, once again, you take photos with it. The DNGB mode, so actually, it's the RAW photo mode, which allows you to take photos in RAW. I discovered this. We also have the AB mode, which is actually the acronym for auto exposure bracketing, which can be translated as automatic exposure bracketing or exposure range. This is really for the guys who want to tinker a bit with photography. Otherwise, we'll have the automatic mode, which is more practical for photography and simpler for me. Then you can also take photos in interval mode or in time fusion mode. That's for those who really want to make videos like on YouTube. Only the YouTubers who promote the background, because afterwards the user will see that you make 360 videos, maybe even 1 or 2 photos, but all the complicated stuff, generally we don't do it. So there are a few, but there you go. Let's talk a little about the battery life. Well, they announced a battery of 1,350 milliamp hours. It is announced up to 60 minutes of recording in 5.7K at 30 FPS, so in 360 mode. Well, 1 hour of recording with 1 battery. Note that the brand provides 2, which is always nice. Then there will certainly be charge as well. But there you have it. So you're set for 2 times 1 hour. One of the questions you'll encounter is, yes, but why have a 360 camera? C'est aussi marquement prisé. And as you can see in all the setups of YouTubers like Lolo Tictin Motorbikes or car YouTubers who place them at the back in GTA mode, all YouTubers, vloggers always have a backup camera. Even when we watch some car videos, they always have a big DSLR camera. Okay, they always have a small camera, you know, like an action cam to film themselves and all. A drone if they can or can't, but generally it will be contained, and a simple camera to have shots, either to have cutaway shots or to add shots or to make slightly aerial shots or shots that you wouldn't be able to do with another camera. So is it a good main camera? No. Is it good for a secondary camera that can do a bit like the other cameras but can do a lot more things? I would see it more like that. So do you need to spend $600 on that camera? Not really. So if I propose one to you at a very close price, I could say, it might make sense. Well, first mode, I would have taken a photo in 360 mode. Once again, you switch to photo mode in 360 mode. I would have also taken one with the pole. You can set the timer, then you put the pole up, you take a photo. Well, there you go. Then your photo will automatically be in 360 mode. And moreover, it will remove the pole.
So that you will see that it's absolutely necessary to use the app, because yes, you will need to use the app that you can use either on your smartphones.
So afterwards, we got it a bit in advance because the camera hasn't been released yet, but there will be an application to download that you can also install on your computer, knowing that now almost all video editing software handles 360 cameras. Since it's become somewhat trendy, I know that even Final Cut can handle them now. Because yes, if we take the photo on the SD card, we end up with 2 little weird circles. Those are the 2 lenses which are next to each other. So yes, it's nice. Once again, it creates a kind of stylish effect, but you might want to do something else with your photo. So when you go through the application, when you can see the photos, you say, yeah, that's great. You can navigate through it, but be careful. You're viewing it via proxy, so you can't modify it. For that, you'll need to click on the little download button next to it. There, it downloads the photo, and in that case, you'll have buttons appearing at the top to be able to edit it. And when you are going to edit your video, your photo, once again, you will go directly to the time lapse at the bottom. So you will be able to choose, for example, the format in 4/3, 16:9, 9:16 and all, to frame your photo a little. You will be able to choose the place where you want to take your photo. Like a phone, you will be able to zoom in and out directly on the screen. Once you like your photo, bam, boom, we export it. So I would have taken plenty because I had a blast with this camera, since you take just one photo and end up with lots afterward. When you go into drone mode, you're like this, but from above, you can really see things you couldn't with your small camera. There you go, you're talking in a place a bit secret, and I really like that. Same, the camera allows filming with a single lens. If, for example, you want to film yourself in vlog mode, so that's why I say, no need to set the camera in horizontal mode once again. You put the camera in selfie stick mode like this, you see? You hold it like that and you film, because we will see that when we're editing and when we take our original file. Well, our video is a circle, there you go, a big circle with a wide angle. And especially if you film with both 2 big circles, then it's the software that will process the image a bit. So after that, so you put the camera horizontally, vertically in all 4 big circles.
And then, yeah, it's you who chooses. If you want a video in 7/9, 9/16, all that. Boom, come on. One of the modes that could be really interesting is obviously the vlog mode, which I think of first. So one of the things that's quite interesting with this camera is that, one, it either films like this, well, then with the lens. It's true that Akaso explained to us that, well, then we have a big square, and well, with that, it films everything to have then the two lenses that do in 360. So you can either leave it in normal mode like that with the native file, or more interestingly, you can go with this software, edit your video a bit, and choose the spot you like best within the camera. You see, it allows for a really wide angle, and then to make some rather nice vlogs, once again. All while having, you see, there if I make run, I compare it to the shadow shampoo, there you go. If I run here, in theory, thanks to the lens that is super wide, well, normally, in theory, there are no vibrations, hence the interest in having stabilization. same. So there I'm behind the camera, so I see what's happening. You know, once again, with so the advantage, it's true that it's really practical to put this camera in vertical mode, since anyway it films everything. So afterwards we'll crop the image, video 16:9, but it's still much easier to handle. It's more aesthetic than holding it by hand like this. Here I'll use the pole, plus I can really extend the pole and raise it quite high.
Ultimately, you hear me less clearly, but it really allows you, see, to have a rather nice effect. I'm going to put it in the shade here. That way we can test the 360 mode a bit.
But the mode that drives me crazy and interests me the most is really the 360 mode, once again. So here, likewise, I advise you not to choose display on the memory card. Otherwise, you'll end up with two weird circles or even a somewhat strange panorama mode. No. We put it on the phone, once again, or on the computer. Why? We are on the computer. It will process it on the phone. You download it, of course, and then you can edit it. So then you can either set it as a panel or review. Well, panel, it's review. The translation is not perfect, but goodbye. You down there, then you will be able to go. So there are quite a few good things, especially. All right, we'll see. We'll immediately set the aspect, set the ratio right away. It's just that your thing, you do your editing right away and then change the ratio. It might look a bit odd. So you change the ratio 9, 16, 69, 1:1, 2:35. For those who want to make films, like George Lucas, in 4:3, 3/4. So we adjust to 16:9. You'll notice in the little buttons that you can also add music, adjust the leveling or the audio level, even if we were at maximum by default, add the little dashboard, control the playback speed, you put videos in fast forward, directly modify colors through the software, add filters, apply some weird or somewhat cinematic filters and everything. It's so cool. And finally, cut your video if there's only one portion you're interested in. So first, I would have taken a video I made. So there we choose our shot. There we set it to 16:9 and all. Once we have the shot we're interested in, at the bottom, we click, we place a marker. Here's a little tip to remove the marker. Just click on it again. I searched for a long time. I could place them, but I couldn't remove them. Oh, there you go. So you can place your starting marker and then, well, you can start a bit of your video. Once you change locations, you clearly say, I want to go to a marker. So the video will go from marker 1 to marker 2, from shot 1 to shot 2. When you are able to edit the video, you will be able to add some tones in FOV mode. So then if you want to make it a bit wider like that, there you go, you would hold it. Even if you can do it a little with the screen, it's not really important. But otherwise, you can put, the most important for me is the tracking. You say, yeah, but I just want to film myself and all that. I don't want to redo all the editing stuff and everything. Well, in that case, you use AI, select the character you want on the screen and say, all right, throughout the video, wherever the camera is, I want it to be focused on me. That's pretty interesting. Well, there will still be quite a few things. It's just that once you're done, for example, you'll say to yourself, oh dear, for example, in my video, I want to show something on the left. You turn off the automatic tracking, go to the left where you want to show, then you zoom, set the marker, okay? Then in your video, you say, I want to show from another spot. You quickly go to the other spot. Then in your video, you place another marker and the camera does its own thing. And that's good. With the zooms, the zoom outs and all, it's really quite nice. And we'll see that afterwards. Once your video is finished, you just have to say, there, I want to export it in 4K 30 frames per second, or in 2.5K 30 frames per second, or in full HD 30 frames per second. And so you can take a look at that. I'll let you enjoy the video.
But one of the modes that I personally like more is really this 360-degree aspect where I place the camera, I hold it in my hand, but you can choose either you see yourself first or you see behind the camera, depending on what you're filming. But it's not really important since, as you understand, the point is that you're going to have a mark like this. You will be able to either remove it.
How noisy they are. It's incredible.
So you will be able to hold your camera, for example, like this, and especially do the shots that are the most popular. Whether you're a vlogger and all, to add, for example, shots to your video. Here, I put the camera a bit far like this. You see, you can either hide it or walk a bit like this while doing something. And well, it's as if you have someone filming you a bit like this. And the point is that, once again, your 360 camera, these are sub-mated projects. Right away with the bike. Look at the pretty tree over there and all. Not bad. Oh, over there. Oh, but isn't that a bear hanging on the tree? There you go. That's kind of the point. Or else, you can strike the same pose, but from the back. You see like this in mode.
I walk around the city with my friends, as you can see, with the motorcycles and cars. I can do the same thing with the side like that. You see, I set up the camera.
I didn't think you would give me that. I placed the camera like this here with the chicken and everything. And especially one of the modes that's really interesting is what they call the drone mode without a drone. Now, I'm not going to bother to take out a drone like that. And yet, you see, if I place the camera up like this, not only
I'll be able to, if you zoom in on me, you will be able to see me, but you'll also be able to see a little to the side. And for example, I can walk like this to go over there. I will go down like this.
We really have the Apple, not Apple. It's 3. It's pretty. It's with a little. It's too much.
There are tanks. You are going to explain to me. Can we get inside the tank?
Normally, no. Normally, no, it's not meant for that. But there you go. After it's to prepare. After that, I don't know what we can do. Apparently, we can go. There's a QR code. Something must happen. This is really the drone mode.
Without a drone, but with a drone. Then there's a question that's been on your mind. I can sense it from the start, and I'm going to answer it right away.
So I know that the old complainers will tell me it's moving too much. It makes me queasy. That's one, because you're too old, and two, because it's a demo. It's just to show you everything you can do. You don't have to do so much. You can do something much simpler, much more clean, much more focused on your face. You don't have to do effects like that. It's a demo. If you're feeling queasy, take a little pill and then we'll continue. Is this camera awesome, and does it create stylish shots? Yes, that's the thing. It makes shots that are incredible. Either me in 3-inch MBs, or I thought, hey, I'll shoot some shots on the motorcycle. Once again, here, it's the same. You attach the boom, you put the boom directly in front of the motorcycle, extending it by 1 meter, just like that. So it's as if someone is filming you. Not bad. You lift the pole, it films your face and all, beam bada boom. Plus, if something happens on the road, you know you have a 360 file and you can go check something that happened. Someone crossing or something you saw, but you have the camera, you wanted to see it, it's good. Or you can film it yourself. Or for example, like me, you can leave the camera on the handlebar and put it on your shoulder. So then it's as if it's filming behind. That makes shots that are incredible, like in GTA and everything. I know car YouTubers really love that. Also, the camera, you can either remove it, attach it, for example, on a crash bar to film behind and all, or set it to drone mode. It's like you have a drone following you from above. Be careful though, you have something that is 2 meters above you. So watch where you're going. It might scrape the trees a bit and you can place it like that. Or once again, you say to yourself, as for me, I take the pole in my hand and I want to film my front wheel, or you fix it, you live your life once again. And there you set the wheel and everything. Plus you can put the tracking directly on the wheel to look at it or at the exhaust pipe. Yeah, ajabo. And naturally, if there are those who watch Lolo Coche's videos, often there are shots like that. The shots are incredible, especially the thing that third party said, drone without a drone. There are many places where you're not allowed to use a drone because blah, blah, blah. It's forbidden, blah, blah, blah. You take out your pole. There are poles that are 3.5 meters long where you can put 2 poles like they have. You put the pole up like that. You walk around a little with your pole. So afterward, in editing, well, it's like you have a drone, except you have a 360-degree drone above and below, and you don't see the pole, giving you really incredible shots in 4K. Very good for your editing.
Because one of the questions you're asking is, yeah, but I have the sound. What do we do? For now, there's no option to attach a Bluetooth microphone to the camera or a wired microphone. Apparently, Akaso is working on it, but for now, this is really their first version, and later it will evolve like this. Otherwise, bam, you can use a small DJI microphone, for example. The interest in those is not, they are not synchronized with anything.
There is just an internal memory of 8 gigabytes that allows more than enough sound recording. And so, from the moment you have a soundtrack here, synchronized with this one, with any software, you'll see below. And again, we'll see that it's not very important. So, you take your camera and once again switch to drone mode like this. The sound is quite good. Really think that cameras like these are meant for making shots, to add to your video, and not for vlogging, because afterwards you have to do the editing and all. But admit that if we position ourselves like this from behind, in mode, someone is following me, for example, or on a motorcycle, or in front mode like this. You see, we position ourselves there, and then you'll see. I don't know either. We're not in special effects, but you put that with a backpack, something quite nice and all like that. Make sure there's no one to attack anyone. There, we move a little to the side, you see? It's like someone was filming us a bit like that. Okay, we can't do it like that. We can't be here. I'll go over there to the other side. There, we move directly to the other side. Okay, as if someone were filming me from the front. Bernard de la Villardière, here I am. Or you can very well use one of my favorite modes. For example, you see, we will stand here, let the lady pass. We are not Vitali.
For those who get the reference, there you go.
If I don't end up in prison here, right, I wouldn't want to. You can put the camera here, for example, okay? And thanks to the software, you can, for instance, set it to tracking, saying, there you go, you move around the camera. As for me, well, I can't see the screen anymore, so I can't see if it's filming me. I know that, but I don't see myself filming. But that's not really the point, you see. The interest is really to say, Annie, well, we have a personal assistant with us. She follows us. We do trackings like this. It allows for a little tour. Yeah, it's nice, those little teddy bears over there like that, but I think it's I need to go see. It looks good. There are plenty of, there were lots of phones and everything, and it's quite interesting. Well, I mean, yes, but I'm telling you, you're saying to yourself, if we were in France, a guy would have run by long ago, snatched the camera from us, and would be running off, and there you go, doing his live stream alone. Well, here, no. So it's really the interesting mode. What I really like about this kind of camera, you see there, the drone mode. Damn, look at the sky. The sky, there's a big ugly cloud there. I almost took my umbrella. Well, there you go. And the drone mode without a drone, you see, well, you don't have a drone, and still, that's their original pole. I think you can put it even higher than that. You set drone without a drone, and you can stroll around, for example, anywhere without shocking anyone at worst. Q-tip. Put a small flag on top. It looks touristy. It gives the effect like there are guides. Do that at home. There are always guys in guide mode with a little flag, and you have all the Chinese behind them. Well, the problem here is that if all the Chinese follow me, there are too many of them here. But you get the idea of this camera where you can show things that are a bit out of the ordinary. You see, we put it like this here. We could very well put it on the side here, lean it against the tree there. I won't tell you about the massive disaster, but it's really awesome to film yourself a bit like this and then to film a bit around. Well, afterwards, it's about editing, but that's really the point of filming everything and then editing it later. There you go. And here we must admit that, well, it opens up creativity afterward. Maybe we don't need to spend $600 on a camera like that, since this one works just fine for me.
So the problem with the 360 cameras that are currently available on the market, you saw them, the 1, the 2, and the 3. After starting from the 4th, the 5th, and so on, adding things that only YouTubers, filmmakers, special effects specialists can do, it's great, but they might charge you a bit too much. You're thinking, this camera is really good, it would make my shots, and if I can also give you a good price, you might be able to seduce yourself. Come on, good price you wanted, good price you will have. So the camera is announced. I give the price in dollars. Initially at $199, $200. It's really good there. Take the X3, there you go. The price in euros, the price in euros, 239 euros 99 with 2 batteries. Obviously, like other brands that only give you 1 battery, here we still have 2 batteries. There's not yet the boom stuff and all that. You'll have to buy that separately, but 239.99, that's $240. The camera, so we have lenses that are very, very good, 5.7 key. The latest generation's latest setup, oh yes, it looks a lot like other cameras you may have seen, but it's what you are looking for. But what you're looking for above all was the same at $240. And now you're thinking at $240, that makes a nice little backup camera for shooting some pretty cool shots. Come on, tell me in the comments, what do you think about this Akaso 360 camera? Are you like me, kind of in love, thinking, yes, finally a 360 camera at a good price to do the things you want to do? If you want to make movies, buy cameras to make movies. But I think between you and me, we're not making movies. We make YouTuber videos, and the quality level, even though it's really high, is fine. They use all that, so it's pretty good. Come on, since all thumbs are allowed, if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. That's up to you. You tell me not to subscribe, because since you're my mom, you don't miss a thing. So give me a reason, since we are the first to have this camera, to test it and all. So I'm pretty happy. So you subscribe there, you click on the bell. It allows you to discover products saying, hey, there's a coherent alternative at a nice price here. If you want to spend $600, very well. Nice effect. But from me to myself, or from you to me, I'm going to use this one for some shots from time to time, whether I'm doing vlogs or even for factories or some. Ouch! It opens up a lot of ideas for me. And at that price, I think it's a little indulgence I can afford for another camera in addition to my setup. That's all for today. Thank you for stopping by. It makes me happy. Have a great day, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Keep your spirits up, and above all, stay open. I definitely appreciate you. See you soon.